brilliant, Hamish. He joins us again. Welcome back, mate. Congratulations, mate. What brilliant news yesterday. Fantastic.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Honestly, it's just been a whirlwind of emotions, but, I'm just so stoked for my result.
So, 24 hours later, you woke up afterwards. What was the first thing you thought of and you felt when you woke up?
Probably how sore my head was. But also, then I got to look in the... Sorry, I just probably need to restart that. Tom's buddy getting in the way. Woke up, was, had a bit of a sore head, but at the same time, paled in comparison to the fact that I knew I was world champion. And that was, it's just such a special feeling to wake up to.
Say that out loud again, mate. You're a world champion.
I am a world champion.
Brilliant, isn't it? There's this, when entering this event, what did you want to achieve? Did you realistically think you were going to win that?
Yeah, I dreamed about it. The kind of the goal was to medal and to jump well, and I think that I first and foremost jumped really well, which was awesome, and that also was enough to actually get the gold. So, yeah, I think it was something that I kind of knew I was capable of, but until you actually do it, it's just a completely different feeling.
Hamish, it's been described as a performance of near perfection. Would you describe it as that as well? Close to what I am capable of right now. However, I think that that's by no means what I'm going to be capable of in the future. My clearance over that bar, over at that attempt at 236 was so great that you could say that there was definitely a few more centimeters even in that jump. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting future. Hell yeah. So as you were building towards that, first was 2.5, that was easy. 2.20 looked easy. We're watching the pictures yesterday, looked easy as well. And what are you feeling at that stage? Because you always say to us, it's all just about your rhythm and your timing. Were you feeling that it was just absolutely, your steps were all right, your jump, you lift off, everything was going perfect?
Yeah, it was. Honestly, the whole comp I was just feeling so on. You kind of, some days you get there and you feel like you need to do things and you need to change and you need to kind of, warm up into the competition. But definitely yesterday I was pretty much raring to go and just completely on my rhythm and on my timing from the get-go, which was really cool because there was definitely a lot of boys in that comp who weren't. It was awesome to start the comp like that, but at the same time, when other guys are jumping badly early on, that they can turn it around as well quickly. So I was trying to just focus on my stuff and not get complacent. And I was expecting some guys to start jumping really high and kind of ultimately they didn't, which was a little bit unfortunate for me, but at the same time, I'm pretty happy I got the win.
So while you're observing all of that and you're thinking, hang on a second, that guy's struggling a bit, does that alter the way that you approach your next jump, or were you able to completely maintain your own focus?
I think I was able to capitalise on it. I had Wu, Sanyok Wu, the Korean, who's the defending champion, and he was jumping one athlete before me. So I could kind of see what he was doing, and I think when he was clearing the bars, I was happy just focusing on my own stuff. But then when he started actually missing bars, I actually really used that as fuel, because obviously with high jump, the least misses you have, the more kind of favourable your position will be if you guys jump the same height at the end of the comp. So I knew that it was a chance to really capitalise, and it was cool that I kind of was able to tie into that. Without also, when he was doing the good jumps, I wasn't sort of getting stuck into that either, because that can be a bad thing as well.
At 2.28, there's only 3 of you left in the competition. What are you thinking at that stage?
Well, I was thinking that at least I would be doing worse than last time, when I got a bronze in the last one. So I think there was a little bit of relief in a way. But yeah, I also knew I was on such good form that I was like, sweet. First attempt at 230 here would be super cool, and it would set me up really good for some higher attempts.
Well, you did. First time clearance at 231. So all of a sudden, now you're starting to apply real pressure to it. Do you look at your opponents at that stage? I know that you're all mates and that off the track, but this is competition time. This is business time. So how do you behave towards them?
Yeah, it is a funny one. Like, when guys are struggling, usually you sort of leave them to it a little bit and sort of just let them kind of try and deal with their own stuff. But yeah, it was a funny one. Like, I definitely, I was getting the first attempt, so for me, I was going back down. I was sitting down, taking my shoes off, and chucking my t-shirt over my face, and just kind of trying to just relax and almost have a little nap between jumps. And then the other guys are kind of, hurrying around trying to get clearances. So yeah, it did get a little bit tense there, but at the same time, ultimately, after the comp, everyone was pretty happy again, and we're good to go.
This all takes place, within the space of about half an hour, 45 minutes, doesn't it? So you've got time to have a little lie down, little shut eye.
Yeah. I think it's also a little bit of gamesmanship. If you're clearing fast first attempt and kind of just looking like you're just trying to go back to sleep and wait for the next one, it definitely puts pressure on the other guys.
All right, and then you decided to go for 2:36, which is 2 centimetres bigger than the national record. It's the Oceania record equalling mark. And why 2:36? Why not 2:35? Why not 2:37? Why 2:36?
Why not? I guess for me, I had an attempt at 2:34 because the American guy passed to 2:34 for his final attempt, so I had to do 2:34, and I missed my first attempt at 2:34, but it was such a good clearance that initially I thought about going to 2:35, which would have been a 1 centimetre PB for me, but yeah, I just decided 2:36 was on the cards, so pretty happy I went to it because obviously the jump would have cleared 2:35 and 2:36, and then yeah, I kind of had in the back of my mind as well that if I was able to clear that, on my first or second attempt, I could potentially then go for 2:38 or 2:40, but ultimately, once the adrenaline sort of starts wearing off and the contending with the realization that you're a world champion now is something that I just decided was probably worth just pulling the pin at 36 and just starting to celebrate.
Hamish, do you make that decision on your own? Does your coach help you? Do you actually look for him or what?
Yeah, it's always a team effort. I was really lucky. I was actually working with a British coach, Robbie Grabarts, who was actually an Olympic medalist himself in the high jump. So yeah, my New Zealand-based coach wasn't able to be there with me, but me and Robbie, we discussed it, and he really said to me at my last attempt, 2:36, he's like, you're on here, you've got this, you just need to be patient and just let the jump happen. And once I did it and executed it, he was like, yeah, that was awesome, but you probably should just call it a day now.
Hamish Kerr is with us, world champion. Is it okay if I ask you a couple of other questions? This is fascinating, and I'm sure people are going to absolutely adore this, listening to this, how your mind works during this competition. 2:38 was your target during the year, and obviously that's set now. Do you go higher now? Do you set that target higher now?
I think now it's about consistency. I know that I have some amazingly high jumps in my legs, and I think that I've proved that time and time again that when I'm in good form, I can do some great stuff. But I think if I'm to be brutally honest with myself and the team are fully aware of this, I have lacked consistency in the past at certain times of the year. And unfortunately, some of those times have been around major champs. So yeah, I think for us now, it's we're obviously going to be trying to find more centimetres, but we've got pretty much 5 comps between now and Paris, and it will be about just trying to absolutely maximise every one of those competitions and trying to get that up and around kind of 2:35 to 2:38 as much as possible.